You're listening to the Passionista Podcast, episode number 72. This episode is brought to you by Zalise CBD oil, which I'm obsessed with. If you follow me on Instagram stories, you know that I talk about the benefits of CBD for women a lot. This has helped me totally heal my adrenal fatigue and gut issues and hormone and lack of sleep. And since I've been taking it for over a year now, my endocannabinoid system, which shocker, is really important. I didn't know what that was before. But now that it's beginning to heal and awaken, I sleep better. My hormones are balanced. I have a brighter, happier mood. My face, my skin looks better. My libido's up. Heyo. And new result, my period is less intense. So now it's a 3-day easy breezy period where before it was pretty much horrific. So I am a huge fan of Zalise CBD, and you can get your hands on a 7-day supply, 7-day challenge. The link is in the show notes. But without further ado, let's dive in to today's episode. Welcome to the Passionista Podcast, where we believe that passion is everything. I'm Lindsey Nadler, empowerment coach and leader of the Passionista community. Here on the podcast, you'll find inspiring stories of women who've turned their passion into a reality, as well as the best coaching tips and resources so you can do the same and walk out your calling with confidence. All right, Passionista, let's get to it. Well, hey, Passionista, before we get into today's episode, which is fire, we're going to talk about how to stop comparing yourself to strangers on the internet. I want to be sure that if you know you want to work with me in 2020 and you are ready to turn your passion into a business you love, you are no longer here for doing work that you are not aligned with and doesn't light you up. You're ready to take your passion and monetize it online. Then I want you to be sure to join the wait list for the Passion to Profit Business Academy. The link is in the show notes. Remember, when you're on the wait list, you're going to get access to exclusive bonuses, early bird pricing, and things that people do not get anywhere else. So don't wait around. Get on the wait list. The doors are going to open soon. You want to make sure that you're a part of that, especially if you are loving the content, the vibe here on the podcast. Can you imagine what it will be like to work with me for 90 days? In that intimate group coaching environment. So, all right, Passionista, let's get into today's episode. So what I want to talk with you about today is this concept of comparing yourself to strangers on the internet. Listen, we all do it. I've done it. And I have developed a skill set, a certain set of skills, as Liam Neeson would say, about what happens when I start to feel comparison sneak in. Because guys, let's be honest. There's a ton of women out there that are business coaches and life coaches. There are a ton of women that have other podcasts. There are a ton of women that are millions of dollars down the road from me. There are a ton of women who are way further in their business and they got started quicker than me. There are all kinds of people everywhere, all over the world that are in their own process, and you are in your own process. And so there's always going to be somebody somewhere doing what you want to do, or has already done what you want to do, is doing it better than you, is imitating you. There's always going to be that. Okay. And what I have found is that comparison is probably one of the number one reasons that holds people back from ever getting started in their business or ever taking the leap, because we immediately look at other people and say, well, I'm not like her, or I can't be her, or she already did it, as if there is a cap on how many people can be doing a certain thing. That is rooted in scarcity and fear, and it's not lined up with abundance and who God says we are. And so what I want to encourage you to do today is to stop comparing your marathon or your sprint to someone else's marathon. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's. You are in your own thing. Stay in your lane. Don't look to the right or to the left. Keep your eyes straight ahead. Stop getting bogged down in what other people are doing and how they're doing it better than you. So I want to give you some things to think about and understand what's happening when you make the choice to compare yourself to a stranger on the internet who you don't know their story, you don't know their background, you don't know how they got to where they are, you don't know about the hard work, you have no idea the inner workings of their life. You have no idea the true story. You have no idea what nobody else sees because you're just seeing the highlight reel on the social media. Please understand that. Even when we share our most vulnerable down in the muck posts, it's probably after the fact, the healing, we're sharing scars, not wounds. And so you have no idea what the real truth is or what the underlying story is for people. And so I want you to understand some things that are happening and how comparing yourself to strangers on the internet is going to really keep you in procrastination. It's going to keep you hiding. It's going to keep you playing small, but also what it will do to the state of your heart, the state of your soul, to your peace level, to the energy that you live with. And then I want to give you some tips on what to do to stop. How to actually stop, like practical things. Because people will tell you all day long, like, don't compare yourself. I just gave you a sermon about it. Don't compare yourself, just stay in your lane. But what are some practical ways? What are some boundaries I can put up? How can I stay accountable to that? And so I'm going to dive into that as well. So let's get started first with, I want you to understand how detrimental comparing yourself to someone else is. When we compare ourselves, we open the door to our soul to jealousy, bitterness. We open the door to not enoughness, to judgment, and to entitlement. One thing that I see happen a lot is people will say, well, oh, it must be nice. Oh, it must be nice for her. Oh, it must be nice for them. And you immediately start thinking that somehow this other person had it easier, or that they didn't walk through some really hard stuff. That's entitlement. And we are not entitled to anything else on this planet, or you're judging their journey. And listen to me, when you partner with jealousy and judgment and bitterness and entitlement, you are guaranteed to sow and reap that back into your life. So if you want to attract people that are jealous of you and judgy of you and bitter towards you and entitled to things that are around you, go ahead and start dishing that out to the world, because we will attract who we are. I have seen it happen over and over again. So don't open the door of your heart to that stuff. What if everyone around you is doing the best that they can with what they know how to do? And what if her victory doesn't mean it's your loss? There's enough for everyone to win here. There is enough for everyone to be celebrated, for everyone to be successful, for everyone to earn as much money as they want. There are plenty of clients out there. There are plenty of people that want to buy what you have to offer, that want what you have your hands on. You have to believe that. Anything else is scarcity. Another thing that can happen a lot is, and I just know this because I am a woman, and I've been around so many women, I've coached so many women, is that this competitive thing that's in us, it's really has been ingrained because we live in such a patriarchal culture where we feel like we have to fight amongst ourselves for the good men or for the good job or for whatever. We haven't viewed women as the source of wisdom or collaboration, or that understanding that community is your currency and it does you no good. In fact, it harms your business and it harms your self-worth and it harms your inner being so much when you compete with other people and when you compare yourself to other people. It's basically saying, God, who you created and what you've given me isn't enough. Let me say that again. When we compare and compete with other women, it is as if we are telling God, how you created me and what you have given me isn't enough. And my friend, a lack of gratitude will put you in one of the darkest places in your life. If you're kind of woo-woo like me and you like science and you dig on all that stuff, They have actually proven now that certain emotional patterns create a literal like vibration energy in your body. So when you hear people say like good vibes, like stop labeling people as new age, like it's legitimate science. Gratitude is like the highest frequency that you can get at. The highest one, and pure appreciation, like gratitude and appreciation will light you up from the inside out. And we are told, when we read, I'm a person of faith. And so I've read, in the Bible, and I know like to give thanks in all things give praise. Never stop thanking. Like we're told that, but yet we don't understand it. Like that can just kind of become spiritual jargon. But when you understand that the science backs it up and that there's a reason that we are told to think on things that are pure and praiseworthy and noble and right, and we were told to always be grateful and to always give thanks, it's because it is physically affecting your body. So if you don't want to be in and if you don't want to be in a place where your emotions can create all sorts of illnesses and disorders and things like that in your body, because what is in us comes out of us, stop comparing yourself. It is going to lead you down a road that you never imagined that you could be on. Here's what I want you to understand. And this is a quote that I saw somewhere on the internet. You guys know I love my quotes. But it says, God didn't ask you to be her. He asked you to be you. And that is the thing that I work with so many women. They have this imposter syndrome, or they won't go after what they're passionate about because like, well, so-and-so already did it, or so-and-so is already doing that, or so-and-so has already, just started doing this. Who cares? If she can do it, so can you. There is enough for everyone. And she isn't going to do it exactly like you. You have your own flavor, your own flair. You may be called to the same industry, but you're called to work with a specific group of people that are aligned with you and are going to dig your story and how you communicate and how you coach and teach them, or whatever it is, the industry that you're in. So think about this for a second. Let me just use another example. Okay. There are a plethora of fast food restaurants out there, correct? You've got Wendy's, you've got Five Guys, you've got Chick-fil-A, you've got McDonald's, there is so much fast food in our country. It's crazy and sickening. But listen, everybody has their own flavor. There are people that are like Taco Bell fanatics. Guys, if I even set foot in a Taco Bell, I'll puke. And then there are people like they will only eat chicken from Chick-fil-A. Like we've heard the whole Chick-fil-A Popeyes debate or whatever. Like nobody is saying, well, Burger King didn't say, well, because McDonald's open, I guess I can't open. Or well, I guess so, because Five Guys is already a burger joint. We can't have ours, whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. So we have to look at, people are drawn to different places because of the culture, because of the flavor, because of what they like. And it's the same way with your business. Friends, there are tons of business coaches. There's tons of personal trainers. There's tons of network marketers. There are tons of people probably already doing whatever it is that you are doing, but they can't do it like you. That's why it's so important for you to honor your progress and always be reaching towards what is the best version of you when you are in your best energy, when you are doing the inner work of stepping into your power, when you are doing the inner work of being real with yourself, about yourself, looking yourself in the mirror with love and grace and watching your thoughts and emotions and understanding that you have the power to create what you want. And if you don't like who you're becoming because of comparison and doubt and all of these stories that we tell ourselves, then you have the power to change it. You have the power right now to stop comparing yourself, stop competing with other women, and own who you are, love your life, and impact the world through your story. So I hope that like you're picking up what I'm putting down here. There is nothing like comparison to come in. And then you've heard this quote too, comparison is the thief of joy. I also feel like comparison is the thief of progress. Comparison is the thief of being proud of where you have come. Comparison is the thief of you showing up with your best energy and serving the people that you're called to serve because you think somebody else has already done it. Comparison is the thief of creativity. Comparison is the thief of true empowerment and collaboration, which if you do not understand this, please hear me. Collaboration and connections are your currency. Guys, when I see women, I just moved, you guys know we moved from Louisiana to Idaho. It's amazing here. And lots of people are moving here, actually. They're flocking from California and other states because it's so great. But what I've found is there are a lot of female influencers and entrepreneurs here, and they don't know each other. Or you'll see some people really try to stay kind of like isolated, like they're above like getting together in person or like collaborating and supporting each other. And I'm just like, tisk tisk, sis, you are missing the point. And I know 100% that is rooted in an insecurity, that's rooted in competition, that's rooted in, I'm up here, I'm on this level and you're down here on this level. Guys, it's just pride, and we can all fall privy to that. So we have to be, one of the things that I really feel like God was challenging me to do when I moved up here is to be more open and to be more available and to put myself out there and to be more vulnerable and to go and meet with people in person, because he had really good relationships and things in store for me. And, I run the majority of my business online. And by the way, running an online business is kind of a dream for an introvert because you can show up like on lives and on Instagram stories and on podcasts, but it's not like person to person. And you guys know that introverts, we lose our energy that way. We don't gain energy from being around other people. So we have to be selective. And so what I had to come to grips with was, Lindsey, are you being an isolationist or an introvert? Because there's a huge difference. Don't isolate yourself. Don't be closed off. Don't think that that nobody else understands this entrepreneurship deal, because I will hear women say that a lot. They'll say, well, entrepreneurship is lonely. I'm like, is it? Go find your people. But you're not going to find your people if you're constantly comparing where you're at to them. You're constantly comparing how successful their event was. You're constantly comparing your podcast downloads to their podcast downloads and how many people are in your email. Like, just stop. You can let it inspire you, but don't compete. Don't compare. Where you are is where you're supposed to be. As cheesy as it sounds, like an inspirational poster, embrace the journey, embrace the process, and good God, my friend, try to have some fun with it. I am speaking. It takes one to know one right now. Okay. I know I'm like preaching at you, but I have to remind myself this all the time. I actually have it on a sticky note in my office, and I tell it to my clients, is the more fun I have, the more money I make. If I find myself getting consumed and taking this so seriously and getting so crazy about, what other people are doing, that is not sustainable. You're not in it for the wrong reasons. You're not in it for the right reasons. We should be here to serve our people. So the more fun I have, the more money I make. And I am not having fun when I'm comparing myself to people that I don't even know on the internet. So, all right, the preaching is done. Now is the practical part of how you can stop comparing yourself. So number one, if there are some people, some accounts that you're following that make you feel like crap, and you are hesitant to compare, like you're not hesitant, but you are apt to compare yourself, unfollow, block, ban, delete. You are not in the place that you need to be to where you can look at their accounts. Okay. If you cannot, listen to me, if you cannot go to someone's account and give love, and you're the person that's just watching and you're never engaging and you're never liking because you want to keep tabs on someone, ooh, my friend, please don't do that. Please don't be the frenemy. Please don't be the, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, please don't do that. Just unfollow them because you don't need that in your life. It's creating energy in you that's dark. You don't want to go there. Okay. So if you can't legitimately support somebody without comparing, unfollow or take a break. All right. Then the next thing, practical thing, is every single day you need to have a gratitude practice. So maybe that looks like writing in your journal. Maybe it's you are so conscious of the first thing that you think about when you wake up, and the last thing you think about before you go to bed are 3 things that you're grateful for. 3 things that you can rest in pure appreciation about. Okay. Like, wow, like I'm so blessed to fill in the blank, or just be like such gratitude. And like, even for like from a business perspective and a money perspective, when you look at your bank account, rest of whatever that number is, gratitude, appreciation. And if your number is not where you want it to be, visualize where you want it to be and be grateful for it in advance. Being grateful for things in advance will totally change your life if you can get into a solid practice of that. Same thing for those of you that are wanting to grow a following, grow an email list, grow in your podcast downloads, whatever your thing is, grow in your Facebook Live video views. Can you be grateful for the one person that you're serving now? And can you be grateful in advance for those that are coming? Because listen to me, if you can't be grateful for the one person watching your video, even if it's your Aunt Sally, even if it's your mom, if you can't be grateful for the one person that liked your post, guaranteed you're not going to get any more. So understand that what you are stewarding now is going to determine what you get in the future. So be a good steward. Be so grateful. Be so appreciative. Have so much fun with where you're at and where you're going. And then the third thing is this. Okay, so we talked about unfollow, like just you need to get some space if there's certain people you're comparing yourself to. Number 2, massive gratitude and appreciation, a gratitude practice. And then number 3 is this. And I want you to lean in. I want you to listen to this because it's probably the most important tip. And it's this. Can you clap for people more than you compare yourself to them? So when you see someone sharing the highlight reel, sharing a win, talking about how much money they made, talking about their amazing, beautiful home, talking about their great marriage, their perfect kids, whatever the thing is that wants to trigger you to compare and for you to go roll your eyes and say, oh, that's probably not true, or like have some backhanded comment, can you instead clap, empower, cheer them on, be positive? What if their life really is as great as they're saying it is? Or think about it from the flip side. This is what I see a lot. I'm always asking, why is this person sharing this? It may be a root of insecurity for them. So encourage them. Encourage, clap, and empower way more than you compare. I have found this to be true. I have found myself doing this particular thing that I'm going to tell you about, and so many other women too, is holding back really good parts of my life, not sharing really amazing things that happen and things that I'm really proud of and things that I'm so stoked about, because I know other people don't have it, or they'll compare, or it must be nice. And guys, that's crazy. It's crazy that for example, when we moved up here in Idaho, my Butlers Pantry is amazing. Okay. It's incredible. I've got it super organized. I read The Home Edit. I love that book. I love that account. I've got everything organized. And my Butlers Pantry looks like something from Pinterest. And it's super easy to take care of because it's just me and my husband. We don't have small kids. And I was so hesitant to post about this on Instagram stories because I know what other people's pantries look like, or other people that, really enjoy cooking and would kill to have a Butler's Pantry, but they don't. And I hate to cook. And I have this really great, perfectly organized Butler's Pantry, but I did it anyways. And I basically said, hey, don't be triggered. This works for me and I'm proud of it. You do you. So can we just stop? Can we give people permission to share things that are amazing without us comparing, without us going, well, ours isn't enough. Well, oh, that triggers me. Someone else's success, someone else's wins should not trigger you. And if they are triggering you, that is your problem, not theirs. So take massive ownership of your thoughts. Take massive ownership of your heart, the state of your heart. What are you allowing yourself to be triggered in? What are you allowing to come in through comparison and judgment and jealousy and bitterness? Get focused on what lights you up, friend, and know that there is more than enough for everyone. And when you're focused on your passion and your dreams and your goals, you understand that someone else's success does not diminish yours. Let me say it again. Get focused on what lights you up. Get focused on why you've been put on this planet. Get focused on your dreams and start taking massive action in the direction of that. Then you're not going to be concerned what some stranger is doing on the internet. Then you're not going to be concerned about how fast she got to where she got to be. You're not going to be concerned about how great and perfect everything is about her life because you love and appreciate your own life. So there is something to be said about putting your blinders on from a state of appreciation and pure positive joy and gratitude for your life. And know that you're going to get to where you're meant to be when you're meant to be there. But it isn't going to happen if you can't clap and empower and encourage other people. So stop comparing yourself to strangers on the internet and start getting focused on why you've been put here, who you've called to serve, and what you're passionate about. When you start taking massive action, all of the other nonsense is going to go away. And on that note, I would say this: you shouldn't have time to compare yourself to other people because you're so in the business of making your dreams happen. Okay? So I hope that this episode has lit a fire under you, has convicted you in a really good way, and that you're going to commit to stop the comparison game and to clap more than you compare. So if this podcast episode blessed you, be sure to take a screenshot, share it on Instagram stories, tag me with it so I can share it there as well. That is the best way to say thank you for all of the content that we produce on the podcast and get this podcast out into the world. And as always, if you haven't subscribed and reviewed, please do that. That helps the podcast get seen. So I hope that this episode has blessed you. Remember, passion is everything, and I will talk to you next week. Hey, if you are loving the content you're getting on this podcast and you want to take the next steps to seeing your passion become a profitable reality, then I've got a special invitation for you. The doors to the Passion to Profit Business Academy are opening soon. Now, this only happens twice a year and spots are very limited. So if you are a heart-centered, faith-forward woman who wants to take her dream, side hustle, passion, idea, get it off the ground and start a passion-based business that you love online, then I want to invite you to join me inside of the Passion to Profit Business Academy. This is a 90-day group coaching experience and course that is like nothing else out there in the online space. Trust me, I know. I've spent a lot of money investing in coaching and courses, and I'm creating for you an experience that I would have killed to have when I was first starting out. This year, I'm committed to helping a special group of heart-centered women take the leap and build their passion-based business online. So if you're in a situation right now where you are hungry for more, you know you were meant for more, but you kind of feel like you don't know what you're doing and you need the encouragement and the coaching to help you along the way, then sister, I am your girl. So what I want you to do is go to bit.ly.com, Passion to Profit waitlist, and fill out an application to be considered. Like I said, spots are very limited, and when the doors open, they will go fast. So be sure to head over there and secure your spot today.